Welcome to the world of decompilations and recompilations to PC ports. And I can't tell you how stoked I am to be here. Sometimes the future is a beautiful thing, and this is no exception. Now, we have had many recompilations and decompilations lately, like the Sonic Unleashed PC port from Xbox 360, the outstanding arcade to optimized PC ports of San Francisco Rush the Rock and 2049, Nintendo GameCube ones like Mario Party, and of course, the Nintendo 64 with the likes of Zelda, Mario, and Mario Kart 64 with Spaghetti Kart. However, I'm not really into those games, because there's a bunch of games on the Nintendo 64 that are so much deserving of more exposure, all to prove to you that there's a much bigger world out there than Mario and Zelda. Mostly racing games. The N64 has plenty of very cool racing games, but only 5 will make the cut here. The best of the best that deserve the best kind of love and treatment it can possibly get. To bring all of its source code and data from the actual cartridge or ROM, and put it all together to make a fully functional and optimized PC port that operates beyond the console's limitations. The way you move through the menus, the way the vehicles operate, the way the physics are, how it loads from one screen to another, etc. Start your engines for the 5 Nintendo 64 games that deserve a PC port through decompilation or recompilation, either with or without the source code. Number 5. Extreme G and Extreme G2. Yeah, there are 2 games in one entry on this list, but what the hell. Now, Extreme G is a very fun motorcycle racing game on Nintendo 64. It has awesome graphics, gameplay, and a scary game over screen in which I assume the rider is already in which the rider is sentenced to death for sucking on the racetrack. Or not. Now, jokes aside, this would be a wonderful game to experience on the PC with all of its data and physics intact. You would also be able to play this game with a much higher frame rate, and be able to access existing content that isn't accessed by other means. And of course, a ton of other things to help you get the most out of your Extreme G experience.
Twist, turn, and burn. 4-player battle mode. Extreme G. Acclaim. Nintendo 64. Extreme G.
Now on to the sequel, Extreme G2. Now, I know there was already a PC version of Extreme G2, but this is different. The actual PC version we have is riddled with problems and glitches. It's not really worth bothering with. If we had a PC port based on the N64 version of the game, it would not only be much smoother, but much more pleasant to play. And it would also make way for mod support to extend the game beyond its means. Extreme G 1 and 2 are fantastic bike racing games that are much deserving of PC ports. Definitely go give these games a try if you haven't already. Number 4. Beetle Adventure Racing. Developed by Paradigm Entertainment in association with Electronic Arts, this is a quirky Need for Speed style spin-off, as it borrows some elements from the classic Need for Speed titles on PlayStation, including that zoomed-in needle on the tachometer. But this racing game focuses on one car model, the 2000 Volkswagen New Beetle, that has received astounding popularity when it first launched, and it's still a beloved vehicle model to this day. You get to choose your style of Beetles, whether you prefer pure speed or pure control, and rip through 6 courses of colorful roller coaster style entertainment, ripping through a Scotland countryside, through Arctic wastelands, through a Jurassic island, even through a haunted house. Now let me tell you something, this game is damn fun to play. The gameplay, the way you maneuver around obstacles and catch big air, it's all high-octane driving fun. And to this day, for 25 years, there's not an indie game spiritual successor that even emulates this kind of game. And that's sad because this game is very unique for its time and still is. My idea for a PC port would be playing the game at a higher frame rate and higher resolution with non-existent load times. And you would also have mod support because you know me, I love mods for new cars and tracks. But it would also be a good idea to combine both games together for the regular release and the Australian release, HSV Adventure Racing, which focused on the HSV GTS sports car. So you would have the best of both worlds. Yeah, that's right, the Beatles and the Australian sports car racing together. How cool would that be? But I also like to take cars from other racing games like Revolt, Midtown Madness, even San Francisco Rush, and put it onto here. I would absolutely love a PC port of Beetle Adventure Racing with all of its data intact, and I hope they do it soon because it's a very fun racing game for Nintendo 64 that is worth playing if you love racing games. According to that funky 70s announcer, it's groovy! Groovy! Number 3. Rush 2 Extreme Racing USA. This is a sequel to the console version of San Francisco Rush on the N64, but is exclusive on that platform. It includes additional cars, introduces vehicle customization, and gameplay refinements. And the focus of this game is tracks centered on cities across the United States, like Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Seattle, New York, and others. And it still provides over-the-top thrills and fun just as its predecessor does. So yeah, unfortunately it was never ported to any of the consoles besides the N64. It's really a shame because other mediums could have used an incredibly fun game like this. But now in today's world, recomps and decomps are possible, so I really wish we could get this kind of treatment for an awesome game like this. To this day, this is one of my favorite racers on the Nintendo 64. It's totally a lot of fun. How awesome would it be to play this exact same game on PC with unlocked frame rates and resolutions and incredible optimization? And some features that I love to have on the Recompile PC ports is enabling cheat codes very easily without entering the massive button combinations. Sound tests, music tests, put in some new race types, and above all else, customizing the opponent racers. So you get to choose what cars and cosmetics you want for them and have opponents play the unlockable bonus vehicles, like the Taxi, the GT90 prototype, and even the Hot Rod, which, according to the game's data encoding, that is something the opponent is never able to do. However, by editing the game's memory while the game is running, it's doable, albeit complex. I even demonstrated that in another video and it turned out fine. However, putting that into GameShark codes would crash the game, so there's no codes yet that allows you to do this without the game crashing on you when you start a race. But hopefully one day. And imagine mod support for the PC version of Rush 2. We'll be able to add our own vehicles and courses into the game, and among other things. Rush 2 is a fantastic racing game for the N64 that is so much deserving of a PC version by the fans, since the game developers at the time would do no such things. A bit stubborn, if you ask me. Number 2. World Driver Championship and Stunt Racer 64. Yet another entry on the list with 2 games instead of 1. Both games are developed by Boss Game Studios and published by Midway. I mean, you can totally tell by the way the vehicles run and the way the graphics look. It's definitely running on the same engine for sure. Anyway, World Driver Championship is a fantastic racing game where it may seem weird at first when you first start playing, but when you get used to it and try out the later cars, it becomes exciting. The best way to describe WDC is Gran Turismo on Nintendo 64. But with a little more unique physics and handling with easy-to-use natural drifting. I love everything about this game. The colorful race cars, the tracks, the presentation, all of it is fantastic. So if you love the classic Gran Turismo games on PlayStation, then you owe it to yourself to give this game a shot. Stunt Racer 64 is 3 things. 1. It's a different kind of racing game focusing on a retro sci-fi feel with similar handling to World Driver Championship but retuned. 2. It's the last game developed by Boss Game Studios. And 3. It was exclusive to Blockbuster rental places. This racing game has cool-looking car designs, colorful tracks, and a racing physics engine that is focusing on pulling off stunts. They have a more stricter animation instead of free-flowing stunting, kind of like how Hot Wheels Turbo Racing was done on PlayStation and N64. And it was also done by specific button combinations. Since this developer has been long since gone, there's been no attempt to try to make a spiritual successor to these two awesome games. And I figured it would be a great time to start the recompilation and decompilation efforts to bring these games into a PC port format. These two deserve it, and it's some of the best racing games you'll ever find on the console that aren't really kart racers. Some of the features that I love to have on PC ports is not only mod support, but lots of quality of life changes. Photo mode, customization of opponent racers from cars to cosmetics, adding weather conditions, new race types, and even pulling off difficult stunts with simple button combinations for novice players that don't care for the complexity of this game as a choice. But let's not forget higher frame rates, resolutions, and optimization. World Driver Championship and Stunt Racer 64 are the two games that make me think that Boss Game Studios is one of the most underrated racing game developers of its generation. The colorful Ridge Racer-styled graphics and vehicle models that they provided are truly one of my favorites and one of a kind. Go play it now if you haven't already. Number 1. Road Rash 64. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love this game so much. I really do. It's absolutely amazing. Just too much fun and too funny to the point where fish fly out of your you-know-what. I would go as far as saying that this is an underrated gem. If you get past the graphics in this game, you'll find that there's a game where there is just too much fun to be had. It's awesome, it's hilarious, it's phenomenal. Yeah, that's right, I love it all! I often consider Road Rash 64 to be the best game in the whole series. Yep, even surpassing the PlayStation and Sega Genesis ones. Now don't get me wrong, I do like the Sega Genesis ones, but sometimes I get bored with those. And the PlayStation Road Rash games are janky and boring. But you cannot deny their awesome appeal back then. But Road Rash 64 has the best racing, the best combat, the best weapons, the best crashes. The way the physics engine is makes this game extremely fun to play, especially if you have buddies over. For the Recomp and Decomp community, this is the prime Nintendo 64 game that I want to see. The most. Get a recompiled and decompiled PC port so you can play this extremely epic game on PC and other platforms. And I'm sure people would agree. The developers of this game have long since been gone, and it's unknown how the team members are doing today. But I really hope that they see this video and never forget the fun times that they had working on this game. Because I cannot tell you guys enough how awesome this game is. How epic would it be to play Road Rash 64 as a natively executable PC port with higher resolutions, frame rates, optimization, mod support for new content like bikes and weapons, tracks, rider skins, better graphics, ragdoll physics. My God, imagine the possibilities! Anyway, Road Rash 64 is a fantastic game and one of the best on the N64 that is the most deserving of a PC port treatment. And in the meantime, I highly recommend anyone with a Nintendo 64 to at least check it out. So what are you waiting for? Why are you watching this? Seriously, why are you watching this? Go find this game and go play it now. Right now. Just right now. You will definitely not regret it. I'm sure of it. And these next two video clips of the hilarious rap sheet screen and announcer says it all on how hilarious this game truly is.
Pull over. Ow! You have the right.
Hey, call your mom and have her come pick you up. Oh, don't take it too hard, loser.
Before we end the video, let's get into a couple of honorable mentions. MRC, or Multi-Racing Championship, is a racing game by Genki, popularly known as the developers of Tokyo Extreme Racer. It's a pretty cool racing game that I'd love to see get a recompiled PC port one day. Army Men Sarge's Heroes is a fun third-person action game on N64. Even with its janky controls today, I had a ton of fun with these two games, and I hope all the Army Men games get some kind of open source recompiled port treatment one day. So that's it for this video. What games do you like to see get the recompiled or decompiled PC port treatment? Leave a comment below if you have any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more entertaining content by me. Thank you for watching, and happy racing!